calculated transformation, shedding dead skin, letting the waves crash in. What am I looking for? This time I'm giving my all. It's been me, I've been here all this time. I had to wait for me until I could see the many things that I could be. But I can't get there till I get there. Wait for me until I can see the many things that I could be. And I will get there. Run into you while you're running. Run into you while you're running. Run into you while you're running to me. Run into you while you're running. Run into you while you're running. Run into you while you're running to me. Step one, breathe in. Step two, okay again. Step three, no more running, I'm finally catching up to me. Yeah. Step four, one thing I can't ignore. Step five is the fact that I survive. I'm alive. I had to wait for me. I'm gonna be exactly what I shall be. Wait for me. I'm running back to go, and that's what I'm gonna do. My picture frame turned into broken, shattered pieces. This is my declaration, sign my own emancipation. It's time for complete transformation. I'm tired of going round. It's not merry-go-round. I'm getting off this track. I'm not turning back until I've crossed the finish line, and I've arrived just in my time. Running. While you're running to me, running. I'm gonna get there.
Thank you, oh my God. You're the best singer my whole entire life. I'm speechless. I cannot say nothing.
I took a hit for the team, took a bullet for the dream, that we would one day all be free, free from prejudice, free from sexism, free from bigotry. I die for creativity, I die for freedom to be free. I died and left a legacy. Oh, but baby, I still live through technology. After the sun, down comes the rain. And after the storm, the sun will start shining. Like tears of pain, and tears of pain, and tears of pain. Just be patient. Your destiny will manifest. Yes, falls in the
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, fam? Supposed to be big screen. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your dude, BubzDaGawd, here with yet another live for you all. Hope that everybody is enjoying their, I believe it's Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So, welcome. Well, is it Wednesday? Yes, it is. Happy Hump Day. Welcome me. Welcome you. Okay, we are back again with another live. First of all, what I'm going to say is that this live is going to be very objective. Okay? Very, very objective, because my goal, as always, is to try to find the gray area of understanding. That's the point. That's the perspective. That's what needs to happen in order for all of us to get to where the hell we want to get and where we deserve to be. Okay? I'm going to start off by saying this. To the individuals who participated in this documentary, your story, your experience, what happened to you, the damage after what happened to you, all of those things are completely 100% valid. Again, for those individuals who have detransitioned, your perspective is valid. What was done to you was wrong. There should have been more consideration in regards to your experiences. You do not deserve anything that happened to you. So, for those individuals, I give grace to. No shade. My critiques or commentary is to the individuals who have unfortunately weaponized your story, weaponized your pain, weaponized your hurt, and then is broadly stretching that across the entire trans community. Okay? That's who I have the smoke for. For individuals like Amir, who continues to push narratives without having a 360 complete perspective of everything so that we cause the least amount of harm. Okay? So, before we get into the documentary, we have to know a little bit more about what the documentary is, right? So with that being said, boom, here we go. Put it bigger on the screen. Okay? DeTrans, okay? The dangers of gender affirming care. Okay, the documentary we're going to be looking at this evening. reacting to, shall I say, is a 2023 PragerU documentary highlighting the stories of individuals who transitioned and later detransitioned, arguing that such care is harmful. The film features testimonies from detransitioners and critics, alleging that medical transitioning is dangerous and that young people are manipulated, which directly conflicts with positions held by major medical associations. And you can learn more about DeTrans on its Wikipedia page. So again, wanted to put that out there before we get into it. To those of you who are part of the trans experience, I hope and pray that you will stick around and watch it anyway. Because no shade, that's how you're also going to find and strengthen your power, your will, your resolve. Because we understand that unfortunately what happened to these detransitioners, which again, my heart goes out to them. This is not me being shady, me being facetious, nothing of the sort. This is me and my empathy. I empathize with them. But for the trans people who are walking in their truth, and that is their truth, that they are willing to accept what comes with that truth, because the truth will set you free, but everybody can't handle it. You will be triggered watching this documentary. I'm gonna let you know that right now. You're going to feel some type of way watching this documentary. Whatever you feel, I want you to sit in that. Because now you got to work out some things in your own mind in reference to, I'm going to be me regardless. And just like how they honor the experiences of those who have detransitioned, if they're really objective, they will also honor your experience as well. But we understand that there is one side that is not willing to accept anything that is not cisgendered or heterosexual. So I wanted to put that out there. And again, I want y'all to watch. If you are trans, you need to watch this. First of all, we have to understand what the other side is saying. We have to. Because that is just information. Now, what we do with the information is what makes the difference. And I've been having wonderful conversations with Boss Man, shout out to Boss Man, the Objectivist podcast, on this very issue. And he has been the only individual who is heterosexual, who has been able to break these things down to help me understand more so of what the other side is saying, because the other side really don't know, but this nigga was able to put it into words to where it was like, I can see that. I can understand that. And no shade, the queer community is not beyond reproach, just like the heterosexual community is not beyond reproach, just like how the binary community is not beyond reproach. We all can have our blind spots checked. Okay? We all can learn from each other. But that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to learn. They just want to be right. But if you learn, then you will be right. Because you're educating yourself. Knowledge is power. The fact that I was able to ask Google a few things and figure things out on my own to go down the rabbit hole, I want y'all to do the exact same thing. So for the individuals who are oppressed in this country, we already know what time it is. This has been our experience for the longest time. And unfortunately, we are all being placed back into survival mode. So if we're going to be placed back into survival mode, then we're going to have to learn how to actually work with each other and work with each other for real. Not just for the moment, but for real. And I'm one of those people who's willing to do it for real. I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself. Now, before we get into the doc, let me go ahead and look at some of the comments. Baby Queen Stevie is still in Deshaun's job. Because Deshaun is usually the one that be lighting up the comments. So let's see. Keep both of your little leprechaun feet on his neck because PragerU and Amir and the other black conservatives do not get it. The thing is that is harmful is conversion therapy. Let's talk about that. The thing is, the thing that it is harmful is that you have mediocre white men running the country. And if anybody is being manipulated, they're being manipulated and brainwashed by white supremacists. I'm totally in tune with my womanhood, and I'm confident with who I am. Because the screen's kind of small. There's no way in the world that I would ever listen to any conservatives or PragerU or let alone Amir. Understandable. I get it. But we in the last stages of this American collapse, baby. It's gonna get real deep. It's gonna get real transparent, very visceral, but it also, keyword also, can be transformative. And I'm willing to move towards the transformative part. And the only way we get to the transformative part is through going through the fear, which is what we're going to do on tonight. And I want to see more queer people doing this. I want to see more queer people getting around with other queer people and watching these documentaries because, again, I have grace to the people that's in the documentaries because that's their lived experiences. I will be a bigot to not honor their lived experiences, especially if it has harmed them. And they can objectively prove that. But the people behind the scenes, the people that are using this for a political advantage to wipe out entire groups of people, those are the individuals that I see. And those are the individuals that we're going to continue to do commentary on. Because if you're walking in truth, you shouldn't have anything to fear, correct? Anyway, all right, so let me go ahead and change my music up in the background. Leave y'all thoughts, whether you agree, disagree, whatever the case may be. Just go ahead. Well, matter of fact, before we do that, let me go ahead and be smart real quick. No shade. Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All the videos, songs, images, and graphics used in this live belong to their respective owners, and BubzDaGawd does not claim any rights over them. So now that we got that on out the way, let me shut the hell up with the stuff, and let's get into it. I present to you PragerU's very own DeTrans. Let's get it.
Courage. Here, boy. Come here, Courage. There you are. See, this is Courage, and he's going to pull me through. Okay, Courage. Okay. Pull me, Courage. Pull. Pull.
I really am sad that I took my voice for granted. Like, I didn't just take it for granted. I hated it. Like, and now, like, I would do anything to have that voice again.
Now it's your turn to teach me.
I forgot to take the music out of the docu thing.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to take the music out. That's what I should have did.
Come back out with me later, okay?
I was trying to get this live together.
Our goal here is to offer gender-affirming therapy.
There is a substantial body of research that shows these treatments
Treatment
work.
for gender dysphoria is proven to be life-saving medical care.
It really comes down to how uncomfortable with their body parts.
Deciding to permanently alter the bodies
And do
of
they want
children.
to change those body parts?
What do their doctors know?
There for their detransitioning. Nobody.
Enough children have already been victimized by this barbaric pseudoscience.
Ridiculous.
My childhood was ruined. This needs to stop.
We have a serious problem.
Now, before we go forward, because I will be pausing again in transformative nature, because I don't know if PragerU is petty and will strike my ish. No shade. So I have to break it down and break it up. One thing that I will say is that the way that they shot and edited and created this documentary, 10 out of 10. No shade. And I'm not like shocked. The right is good at pushing narratives and having the resources to actually enhance it. Okay? So again, we're going to honor the individuals who are in this documentary because that's their lived experiences. But the smoke and the critique is for the people who created this because we know what their intentions are. No shade. Let me shut the hell up and let's continue.
I had an alter ego, and he was like this boy that I like customized in my mind.
What's going on? What's going on?
The ideal boy. Other girls looked so different than I did. They were, you know, expressing themselves very differently.
Hey guys, so for today...
I was depressed, hopeless, and I was feeling pretty dejected and scared and alone. I didn't like life. Like, I just wanted to stay in my room all day. As you spiral into depression, it really feels like you're in a hole that is so infinitely deep, and the depression just was really debilitating in that I didn't really care about
Self-worth, it's not a real thing.
improving myself because I already felt like I was just like I shouldn't have been born. Just having really like dark thoughts. I always just felt very much like there was just something wrong with me. And I was trying to figure it out. And I used the internet to help me do that. That's where I felt like I could diagnose myself. My favorite websites were YouTube and Tumblr. It's such a huge amount of content that I consumed at that time. I mean, I watched a lot of trans people. I watched a lot of, you know, gender transformation videos and saw these people really just like go from female to male visually. Like they looked like men. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that it was possible for a woman to pass as a man that well. It's really dark when you think about it because the people who are consuming this are children, like 13, 14, 15 years old. And it's so easy for them to literally be groomed. I just started looking into all of it. I was like, oh, so there's genderqueer, gender fluid, there's agender, there's like, you can be a demi-girl, which is when you're like 90% girl, 10% not girl. Like, there's just an infinite amount of ways that you can interpret and express your own gender identity. And your gender identity is who you are, and nobody gets to take that away from you. So hearing that, I just became very, very interested in having a male persona. The more time I spent online, the more it felt like real life. And the more real it felt, which eventually led to me just fully transitioning. So I came out to my parents as Ollie, and, you know, I went to this, I guess, behavioral mental health clinic for like 6 days. They had a meeting with my parents, and they basically told my parents that if you don't validate Oliver, if you don't validate him, then this is just gonna get worse. The best thing that you can do to help him is to accept him as your son. But I already felt like I wasn't what my mom had expected. And for me, transitioning was the closest I could come to killing myself without actually doing it. Wow. With all of these mental struggles that I was having, not knowing how to make sense of it on my own, and consuming so much of the trans narrative.
And just loving life.
Hearing people say this made me so much happier. This alleviated my pain. I wanted to alleviate my pain. I also didn't want to be who I was. So with transitioning, I could do both of those things. I could alleviate my pain and I can become someone else. I wanted to escape my own identity as Daisy.
My name is Ali Chadra, and this is my voice one day before testosterone.
That was really the beginning. I wasn't just playing around anymore. I wasn't just playing dress up anymore. Like, I was actually going to become a trans man and live my life that way.
Now, before we go ahead, because we're moving on to another individual who has detransitioned. Watching this, especially the first time, it made sense to me on why Amir Odom and others have such a strong resistance against the trans experience, particularly with children. Now, one thing I will say technically is that no shade, this person said 13, 14, 15 years old. They didn't say anything about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But what happened to them, how they were disassociating with reality or being in the present moment. Around that time, I mean, everybody was in the house. You couldn't really go outside. The world was being shaken the hell up. So, of course, some people are going to get lost. And then depending on what's going on inside the home, do you guys have a good relationship with your parents? Like, what is the environment, the energy inside the home? Yeah, a lot of times children will stay in their room. And because the internet is not regulated, they can look up any and everything, which is why it's like, parents, y'all gonna have to do y'all job as far as actually parenting and not trying to stop your children from accessing these things, because it didn't stop you from accessing things when you were younger. I'd rather the children be educated so that if they do come across this, they know what they're getting themselves into before something happens. So watching this and then talking to Boss Man, it helped me understand again more so what the other side was saying, and I'm grateful for that, because again, I'm trying to find the gray area. The fact that they were able to go to a mental health clinic for 6 days and automatically be giving medical or surgical things, recommendations. I wonder if PragerU is going to do their part about finding out who are the individuals who authorized this and investigate them. Because no shade, Amir offers a solution. Again, a broken clock being right twice a day. But the support system, PragerU, Summit Ministries, the Republican Party, the conservative, white conservative nationalism, Christian nationalism, they don't want any sort of social transitioning, because all of that is gay. What's going on, T for T? All of that is gay. What would have happened if these individuals had the opportunity to socially transition first? It's like riding a bike. Unless you are just unless you're like a genius or a savant, all of a sudden, when you're learning how to ride a bike, you normally have to ride with training wheels, correct? To be able to gain balance and equilibrium and make sure that you're good, so you can understand the basics of riding the bike. Now, once you get good at riding the bike and you motherfucking zigzagging between the street and the sidewalk and doing tricks and stuff, and okay, cool. Then we can remove the training wheels, and now it's time for you to really find your equilibrium. And sometimes you're gonna fall, you're gonna scrape your arm, you're gonna scrape your knee, shit, you may scrape your face. A lot of things have happened, especially growing up as a child riding bikes. Crashed into stuff, the bike chain done slipped, all type of things happen when you're riding the bike. But eventually, when you start gaining your equilibrium in that way, then you have the ability to ride the bike without using your hands. You know how many times I've ridden or rode my bike around my neighborhood back in the day, eating chips and stuff, but still steering without using my hands? Like, there is levels to this. And one thing that I want people to remember and again, like, pay attention to, is that they use the word, and the word escape is going to be coming out a lot. I want to escape. I want to get away from this. No shade. The trans people that I know, they unfortunately accept the reality of what the world is going to give them. And instead of running away from the problem, they are running towards the problem, hoping to solve it. So for that person, that doctor, that physician, that therapist that authorized all of this in such a very fast time, instead of offering social transitioning first, because again, you hear the right saying, oh, well, it's a social contagion. So let's look at it as if though it is one. So social transitioning would be the best bet, especially for youth. It's like the training wheels before they evolve to the next step, correct? Just like in school, it's the same thing, correct? Because the makeup can come off, the wig can come off, the clothing can come off. We can see if you are mentally prepared for this. And then on top of that, as we're going to see towards the end of this live, we're going to explore what gender affirming care really is, because gender affirming care is not just medical or surgical. It is mental and socially as well. And that is the part that the right does not want to play in order to remedy this. Because no shade, nobody should be getting harmed, even though technically, whenever you're doing anything medically or surgically, especially in this country, there is going to always be risks. Always going to be risks. Always going to be risks. But I believe social transitioning would be the best bet. And then when you get older, you start to understand more of the autonomy of your own experience, because around that time when you teenage, you start smelling your own shit, you start gaining some more independence, then you can make those choices. And then technically, legally, when you're 21 years old, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, as long as you're not objectively harming yourself or others. All we're going to say is just educate yourself and make sure you know what the hell you're doing to the best of your abilities before you just do something. That would help remedy all of this confusion. But the problem is that PragerU, again, giving grace to these individuals on the documentary, but to PragerU and the Republican Party and conservatives who have so much resources and wealth tied up into a particular narrative going through, they're using that in a blanketed way. Because once the trans children end up becoming adults, then all of a sudden they're now labeled as mentally ill, crazy, psychotic, believe that they're more than one gender, all these other things, as if though y'all own all of reality. How is your own personal reality doing? Make sure the tree trunk in your eye is removed before you start trying to help other people get shit out their own eye. How you gonna help me when we in the same situation and you ain't made no sort of evolution? You've made no sort of jump. You've made no sort of manifesting no sense of greater awareness. Let's continue with, well, before we do, let me look at the comments real quick, and I definitely want to hear Queen Stevie's thoughts. They have to go through an evaluation. That's for any trans person. You have to make sure that this is what you want to do. Exactly. And we know if they're taking information from PragerU, then definitely it's going to be harmful, because everything they are doing is dangerous. T says contagion. It can rub off on you like a communicable disease. I'm just looking at it through their perspective. Sometimes you got to talk to the people where they at. You may have a higher level of awareness, but sometimes you got to talk to them. Don't come down as far as your vibration, but as far as the level of understanding, okay? The thing that's connected to all things, girl, that central part, that gray area, baby, you ain't got to come down when you in the gray. You know what I'm saying? So when you do that, then you can talk to them in their own language. You know, the pronouns is too much for some people, unfortunately, even though it's a part of basic grammar. Basic human decency is too much for some people, even though they want that in return. So anyway, let me shut up and let's continue with the rest of the doc.
Culturally, we are Mexican, and men have to be very masculine in our culture. And I wasn't the most masculine growing up, and I think that had a part on everything that eventually led me to do what I did. It was around middle school. I was surfing YouTube one day, and a video popped up, male to female, And that eventually planted the seeds of doubt. It allowed me to be caught by the ideology that eventually led me to hurt myself. Eventually, I just wanted an answer to be given to me on who I was, and I went to see a therapist, and I had only asked, I think I might be trans, I don't know, I want to know. The therapist immediately on my first appointment with her said, yes, I am a transgender woman. She had my letter to transition the same appointment.
Damn.
After that, I just took everything slowly.
Who are these people?
But eventually my father found out what I was doing. And due to our culture, he was not happy. And he took me to Mexico and had me have sexual relationship against my will with a prostitute.
Let's pause right there. First of all, like I said in reference to that word damn, yeah. We need to find out who these doctors are and therapists are who are just doing this. Because again, not everybody who swears in that they're going to uphold the Hippocratic Oath are going to do that. There are some people who are money hungry. And I'm surprised that the Republicans haven't found who those money hungry people are, especially since they're looking to take money from everybody except for those in power. So I'm surprised that these individuals haven't been caught yet. Is it because they're possibly also Republican? I don't know. But I hope PragerU and Summit Ministries find out who these doctors are who are rushing this process, as opposed to, again, to Queen Stevie's point, going throughout time to see if this is really where you want to go. Because again, there should be parameters, okay, or signifiers that help in reference to transitioning. And then on top of that, what type of transition? Do you want to just socially transition for the rest of your life? Do you eventually, after socially transitioning, then become an adult, you decide that you want to somewhat assimilate further to what society says a man or a woman is by their secondary sex characteristics? Do you want to do that? And if that is the case, we can help you do that. But you have to also understand that this is going to change your life. Are you ready to commit to this new life, this new way of being, this new way of living? And there are plenty of people every single day who literally have a renewing of their minds and end up believing in something, and it becomes a part of their identity. Everybody in this country has a right to do that, because this is America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Why are we acting the opposite of that then? Now, what was very important is that with this particular story, they said something in the beginning that was like, I can understand that. They said, in this culture, and even though that is a Hispanic culture, Latino culture, shall I say, excuse me, Latino culture, that same energy of in our culture is the exact same energy in the Black culture. That's why I say people of color. Because even though we may have our own unique experience about how we live life and celebrate life in a cultural way, we are still human beings at the end of the day. And because of the toxic masculine culture that wants to be at the head and the helm and be the leader of the family and the community, baby, what did they do to this individual? They took them to Mexico and forced him. Forced them. I'm going to say, just to be safe, them. Forced them. And I'm not saying as far as non-binary, girl. I'm just saying it because I don't know y'all names and I don't want to fuck up y'all names. So that's what I'm saying right now. I'm not dishonoring you. It's just easier for me to say in the context of this, girl. I have to take a page out of y'all's party's books, girl. Okay? No shade. But what happened is that they were taken to Mexico and was forced to have relations with a female. Just like how Bootsy had his son and other relatives be serviced by grown-ass women, just like how we have plenty of pictures. I wish I could have screen grabbed this before doing this live, but there's literally pictures of young-ass boys, 4, 5, 6, and up, literally taking pictures with the waitresses at Hooters. The boys looking at the breasts, looking up at the breasts, sitting here smiling, yeah, all that type of stuff. But I wonder if PragerU in a mirror, I wonder what their perspective is about this individual's father doing what they did to them. Would they be against that? Or would they be for it? Because again, when it comes down to being a man, money, power, respect is the key to life. And that key opens up the one thing that a lot of men have been conditioned to live for, and that is whole. H-O-L-E, something to stick thy hicketh in. And yes, thank you, T for T. Yes, it's in most cultures. I agree with that. I stand corrected. PragerU, Turning Point USA, Heritage Foundation, again, all dangerous white supremacist foundations. No shade, and we're looking at we're doing the one thing that the Republicans didn't do. Who was the ones reading Project 2025? Who was reading that? Who was educating themselves on that? The people who actually educated. The people who actually read. The people that actually understand words, or if they don't understand, are willing to understand words. Okay? So, okay.
I was a 19-year-old kid, and my father
19.
told the prostitute, take good care of him, it's his first time. He was trying to prove that I was a man. That broke me, obviously. After that, I go back to the therapist and told her I wanted to transition. And she recommended I start my social and medical intervention as soon as I can. 11 months after I had started hormones, I was transferred to another medical professional who, after speaking with him for one time only, he approved me for surgery.
Again, who are these
a few
people?
weeks after that session, I got 2 letters from my insurance approving me for surgery. But I was a little surprised that I received my letter for bottom surgery, which was removal of my genitals without even asking.
Wow. Without even asking.
My name is Ali Chadra. This is my voice pre-T. My name is Ali Chadra, and this is my voice 1 month on T.
2 days ago was my official 3 months on testosterone. This is my voice 4 months on T. It's probably not really a good thing that I was able to get my hormones so easily. I mean, anyone can go in there. Not only did they send me home with the hormones, but I actually did my very first shot right there in the doctor's office. And I was just euphoric, and it was real, and I was actually going to start seeing changes, and I was going to start passing, which basically meant that everyone around me was going to see me as a boy, an actual boy. This feels good. This makes me happy. I'm actually feeling the feelings that, you know, all those like trans people online were saying that they felt.
I just want to say that I'm literally so happy with my test. It's so much better than I thought it would be.
Seemingly out of nowhere, we've suddenly seen a huge spike in media depictions and social media depictions of transgenderism. It's even reached the mainstream advertising world. And I think this is all coming to a head and what this really means for our society. In cases like the case of Layla Jane, a young girl whose breasts were removed at age 13 by doctors who fed her a lie.
Take this next case. Layla Jane was born a girl.
Layla Jane experienced a host of medical issues in her youth. Her mother, who is bipolar, expressed to these physicians and therapists that her daughter might be bipolar, but she actually never received any diagnosis or treatment for that. The family went to one physician who, after less than a 2-hour appointment, green-lighted the hormone therapy, and in a similarly or even shorter period of time, a plastic surgeon signed off after one visit on removing her breasts.
Wow.
Like most young women who go down this path of identifying transgenderism as the solution to their problems, reinforced by irresponsible medical care providers, it's likely that if physicians had properly diagnosed all of the issues present in Layla Jane as a child, she would never have gone down this path.
When parents of trans-identified kids are referred to specialized gender clinics, they're often told that they're going to get comprehensive, multidisciplinary mental health assessments. We know that that's not true. In practice, these kids were put on a fast track to medical transition.
Layla is now 18 and is fighting back, so this does not happen to anyone else.
My name is Prisha Mosley. I was a 15-year-old girl when the trans community found me. Already diagnosed with multiple mental illnesses, including anorexia, a body dysmorphic disorder, and borderline personality disorder, a trauma disorder, I was easy to manipulate and convince that I had been born in the wrong body. I was told that this was the reason for all of my mental and emotional distress.
The gender specialist I was taken to see told my parents that I needed to be put on puberty-blocking drugs right away. They asked my parents a simple question: would you rather have a dead daughter or a living transgender son? This is the moment that we all became victims of so-called gender-affirming care.
But is this the document we're talking about? You needed this letter signed by a therapist to open up the door for you to get these medical treatment. Is this the document that we're talking about earlier?
Yes, it is.
And it took you how long to get this?
Oh, 30 minutes.
I think that was the individual that, no shade, I kind of debated with, in a sense. Well, not really debated with, someone else did, on another platform for the first time. I believe that's the same person because they sound the same.
The ideology that has become dominant at these clinics is that trans kids know who they are, and therefore to question them, to ask basic therapeutic questions like, could your gender dysphoria or gender identity have been triggered by some other event in your life? Basic questions of screening are completely taboo in these circles. But the truth is that parents don't have much of a choice in the matter. And doctors are telling parents in front of their distressed children, if you don't consent to the use of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, your child is going to die by suicide.
Now, let me pause there. Because again, shout out to PragerU. Finally, somebody is giving some sort of quote-unquote receipts, even though other people could not. But anyway, again, I am not a person of trans experience, so I can't speak in totality. So again, if there, Queen Stevie, or anybody, if there's anyone that is part of the trans experience, that if I say something and you know this because this is your lived experience, please correct me, because again, I'm not beyond reproach. If you ask these basic signifying questions just to see, because again, with therapy, we're trying to get down to the bottom of this. Could there be some people who, again, are trying to escape their reality and believe that transitioning will help them to do that? Based on this documentary and the others that I have not watched yet, I'm going to just say, for the sake of the conversation, yes, there is a demographic of people who do that. Which means that, no shade, they possibly could have not really been trans to begin with. Because I've had conversations with other trans women. For example, a conversation with my trans sister that I've known for years, probably over a decade now, that I low-key need to call and talk to her and see how she's doing and check in with her. But she told me about the time when she discovered that she was trans, and that has been her life going forward in reference to how she wants to experience her own lived experience, because she has a right to. You can't sit up here and tell children every day that you can be whatever the hell you want to be, and then they be whatever the hell they want to be. The problem where the depression happens is because once society finds out that, again, they're trans, because, well, the one thing that was said in this documentary thus far is, especially with the first individual, well, I was passing. I didn't know that you could pass that good. Pass that good. So again, there is a social expectation placed on women in this country. Fuck trans, the whole spectrum of woman has a perspective placed on it. And there are biological women, cisgendered women, who also struggle with being a part of what society says a woman should be. And we understand it's not just in the way that you look, it's also in the way that you behave as well, a social construct. But no shade, if it was just social transitioning first to see, and to make that a period of a few years to make sure if this is where you want to go, yes, because unfortunately, we live in an ignorant ass society, which is why we're at where we're at now. PragerU came through to be the answer to all of the majority's fears and concerns about the trans experience. Not trans children, but the trans experience in general. They want to erase the entire trans existence. And as a same gender-loving man, we were in the same position that trans women are today, back in the day, when they said that we were mentally ill. When they were saying that we were predators and progenitors of viruses. The exact same spot. That's why I gotta believe PragerU just don't care about just the social transition. I mean, just care about the medical and surgical aspect. No, they want the social transitioning aspect because they've made sure to mention that in there too. They approved my social and medical, social and surgical, but never just social. To see and to make sure. But the question that I posed to Amir and to PragerU and to Summit Ministries, I feel like I already know the answer, but I'm going to go out on a limb. No Tina Marie. The question I want to ask is, are you going to allow your child, if your child is trans, if your child comes to you with that trans shit, are you willing to love your child enough to see if it's really the case through social transitioning? And hell, let's make it easy for you. You can do the social transitioning-ish in the house. You can wear the makeup in the house. You can wear the hair in the house. Allow us to be the first safe space for you. And no shade, it's going to take me a minute to kind of catch on. Because I've also been conditioned since inception, or excuse me, conception. Soon as I came out this bitch and cried, already expectation placed on me. A lot of people have been doing that for the majority of their lives, so it's going to be challenging for them. Just like my father, it took him years to accept the fact that he has queer children, not just a queer son. My sister is queer too. You have people online right now that are calling people who love their children, when there are motherfuckers who don't even care about their children, but who are choosing to love their children and to be a real parent, which means I'm going to go with you through the thick and the thin, which means that things are not going to be perfect. I may not understand everything, but damn it, my love will help us get to the next level. My dad had to go through that transformation. Miss Mary had to go through that transformation for Boo. And no shade. Not everybody's going to make that quote unquote transition, no pun intended, to that, because there are plenty of queer people today who have no access to their parents. We just heard what happened with the last person who detransitioned, about how their father forced them into an actual act with a stranger to quote unquote prove something. So we also have to hold the majority accountable as well. We all played a part in this shit. But I wonder if PragerU, I wonder if Summit Ministries, I wonder if the Republican Party, I wonder if the conservatives, and no shade, I wonder if some of you niggas are going to do the right thing and actually be objective, which means facing the fear to see if it's the truth or not. But I guess as long as you got King Jesus, white Jesus as that, you don't need nobody else. Interesting. But anyway, let's continue.
I believe that most doctors who practice gender-affirming medicine,
most doctors,
they genuinely, sincerely believe that they're doing good, but they're not.
Finland, Sweden, France, Norway, and the UK are reversing course and asking questions.
Have all not found enough medical evidence, psychological evidence to support transgender therapy.
Okay, transgender therapy, not for minors. See, we done moved on from cheering to adults. Again, we were told, you're telling the children today that as a child, you are my responsibility. I am responsible for you until you're 18 years old, legally speaking. If something happens to you, it falls on me because I am the guardian. And no shade, I will respect that. I will honor that. But you said, once your child become grown, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Now there is this reversal on the trans experience for adults who know who they are. So again, my question is, are y'all willing to allow your children to socially transition? And let's put it in the area where I feel like the Republicans and the conservatives and the mayor may be happy with, at least what they're saying. Okay, let's say that there is no sort of hormonal or surgical things happening until the age of 17, 18. Because I think at the age 16 or 17, you can legally emancipate yourself, if I'm not mistaken. But let's just take it in that realm. So that means from middle school to the end of high school, there will be social transitioning. Which means that they're going to show up in the clothing, the articles of clothing, the hair, the makeup, whatever their expression of woman is, because there are so many different expressions of women. All of them are not going to fit a box. Baby, there are some women who are going to explore and figure things out, and it just happens to work for them. So my question is society ready to honor their side of the deal by saying, hey, we're going to do our part to play in reference to creating a safe space for these people to socially transition? Of course not. You're going to bully them. You're going to demonize them. You're going to, you basically call them men in wigs anyway. So you're already saying that they're gay, they're cross-dressers, they're confused. So there's already a narrative played and placed on the queer community, in particular, the trans community. So if that is the case, well then guess what? Y'all are lying. I would rather y'all just come, PragerU, I'd rather you just say, remove all the trans shit now. Amir Odom, I would just say, remove all the trans shit now. That means removing your friends too. Fuck them, right? Because the children more important, right? They're the future, right? You low-key believe that your trans friends are somewhat delusional, right? You believe that they don't really understand, that they're lost in the sauce. Even though y'all friends, even though y'all cool, you still believe that they are just these toxic ass individuals, and you're choosing to be friends with toxic ass individuals. But no shade, it's probably why you support Trump, because he's toxic. But hey, what's going on, Deshaun? What's going on, Daddy? But make sure you check your inbox, because I already told you won I can't even think now, girl. You won the why I want to say sweepstakes. It wasn't a damn sweepstakes. You won the free BubzDaGawd merch. So I need to know what your size is and the address to send it. Okay? No shade, because I need to send you that. My sister be saying, when we gonna send it? When we gonna send it? So make sure you check it. And then on top of that, girl, don't forget my blessing, girl. Because you send it to my Cash App, girl. You gotta send it to CTV. I think it's been 3-4 days now. And no shade, I'm gonna get all my blessings. No shade, you finna get yours, I'm finna get mine. That's all I'm saying, girl. So make sure you go ahead and send it over to Conscious TV so that we know. Thank you very much. Thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you. But we got Deshaun in the building. What did Deshaun say? Well, it's a mixture of society accepting the trans community, such as some of them will accept it. Some of them will not accept it, as some of them will say, who cares? And yes, come on and enjoy the deliciousness and caramel deliciousness of Bubs. Amen. Over here look like a caramel frappe. A hood version. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, their only national gender clinic for children shut
Conscious
down last
TV,
year
not
by court
BubzDaGawd,
order.
Deshaun.
What do their doctors know that our doctors don't?
Part of the problem is that the current cohort of teenagers that are being transitioned under the affirmative protocol, which lacks guardrails, which takes kids at their word when they say I'm trans, which doesn't do proper mental health assessments. In fact, double mastectomies on teenage girls went up 13-fold between 2013 and 2020. Between 2016 and 2019 alone, these procedures went up by 500%. A study published in 2022 by researchers who are advocates of gender-affirming surgeries showed that the youngest patient to have received a radical bilateral mastectomy in the United States is 12 years old. These kids are going to grow up and they're going to start to feel the full effects of their medical decisions. They're going to start to feel the side effects. If you really want to know whether amputating the breasts of a 12 or 13-year-old girl is ultimately in her best long-term interests, ask her when she's 30 or 40 and unable to breastfeed her own child.
Well, that's what Infamil is for, no shade. But I understand. Now see, as we're seeing on the screen right now, I was waiting for Amir Odom and other conservatives to say, check this. I had to go watch this myself. I'd be the one over here literally showing all types of stuff. I'd be asking them, where are the clips of this? Show me this. Where is it at? Show me. But that's why you have to also study to show thyself approved. Amir mentioned this documentary. I said, well, let me go ahead and watch it. And I watched it with CTV, who has watched more detransition documentaries than me. But I'm going to share some of his thoughts that he shared with me as well, because he's more knowledgeable and well-versed in it than I am. Okay? I'm just now starting to get into the whole detransition thing. And I want to learn more about these people's stories. And no shade, it would be interesting to interview these people because, again, at the end of the day, I'm an empath as well. So I care about people's humanity. So at the end of the live, I'm going to show you what a gray area conversation looks like. We're all sides because, again, not everyone who is trans is going to go through the same experiences as these individuals that cause them to detrans. There are trans people who are living their authentic, genuinely authentic, happy and satisfied life. And regardless of what people may believe about trans people, there are people who are going to love them anyway. Isn't that the wonderful grace and mercy of the universe of God, source consciousness, that no matter where you are in life, there is going to be people who are going to love you, even though the people that should have loved you first, even though those individuals failed you, those that you should have seen blood with, failed you. And no shade, when I say this, I'm not saying this to be egoic, I'm not saying this to flex or nothing, but I'm thankful and I'm grateful to have parents who love me, that care about my happiness. Because at the end of the day, when they pass on, I still have to live. I came in this world by myself. I'm going to leave by myself. And whatever happens afterwards, it's just going to be me. So I have to make sure that I am good. And yes, there are some people who actually educate themselves and they figure things out on the way. For example, I knew that I was a same gender loving man. Or should I say, I knew I was same gender loving. But what type of same gender loving man I wanted to be, that's my motherfucking choice. I get to decide how I show up in this world. You don't get to decide that for me. I get to decide my life experience because I only got one. And if people were more focused on theirs and actually deal with their own depression and deal with their own bullshit, then maybe they can manifest the life they want. But no shade, this is also what happens when there are individuals who are lost, who are confused. And there are some people who are willing to grift or to exploit lost and harmful people. Religious people do that a lot. Politicians do that a lot. And as we see in this documentary, some of these doctors are doing it a lot. And no shade, let's continue with the medical industry. Please. Because every pill that you take, there is a side effect that you got to take another pill for that one, and then another pill for the other side effect that creates. And then now you have a new issue. Now you got to go see another doctor and get on another pair or another set of medication. Let's not play this game because, again, if we're going to do it, let's do it across the board. And a lot of y'all not ready. A lot of y'all not ready. A lot of y'all act like y'all ready. A lot of y'all want somebody to save you, girl. White Jesus not saving you, Miss Mamas. The Bible not saving you, Miss Mamas. I'm sorry to break it to you. The only person that can save you is you, because God is in you. The one place that we've been taught to never look at. That once you start looking at that, then the powers that be become afraid because now their power is gone. As CTV said, and we may hear later on tonight, no shade, make sure y'all come through and make sure y'all subscribe to CTV, baby, because we probably coming back later on tonight. We had a good-ass motherfucking conversation, baby. Good-ass conversation. And he stated this: the gods in America are falling apart and they're grieving their gods. The God of money is being grieved. The God of materialism is being grieved. The God of physical attraction is in vanity is being grieved. People are grieving the guardrails or the blockades of racism, of queerphobia, because all that shit is coming down. Why do you think these people want to go back to how it was? If you want to go back to how it was when you are being called to evolve, you are known as stagnant. And what happens when something is stagnant? It dies. And these people are so afraid of having their ego death that so many queer people like myself have went through and survived, because some of us did not. When these individuals talk about, oh, well, the unaliving rate amongst trans people and queer people, why is it so high? Why is depression so high? Because no matter what we do to assimilate, to be accepted, once you find out the T, you go to what you're programmed to do. Just like how there are people right now that have millions upon millions of dollars, fine as hell. They have all the things that society would say, girl, you got 10 out of 10, bitch. You got the best life ever, girl. And on the inside, the one place we can't see, they're miserable. They're broken. They're feeling betrayed. They're jaded. And some people that end up getting hurt turn around and hurt other people. So again, I need for PragerU to continue with the documentary, and if it's out, let me know about the doctors who did this shit. Subpoena these people who are just expediting surgical and medical affirming care without seeing if these people are genuinely trans or not. But that's interesting. Y'all won't name who these people are in this documentary, but y'all won't have no problem creating this broad ass blanket across the trans community, though. Because, again, instead of solving the problem, why do that when we can continue to stoke the flames of ignorance? Because at the end of the day, again, the one God that y'all motherfuckers love, girl, the God of money, the God of capitalism, girl, it's more profitable to benefit from the confusion. And I hope you hoe ass niggas know that at the end of the day, you're a human being. Karma don't give a fuck who you are. I keep telling y'all this. We're seeing all type of stars, all type of things fall, baby. Y'all better, baby. If we go live tonight with CTV Girl, I may be on hush mode in a minute, girl, because he was talking real good. I'm like, bitch, I know I can talk. I don't have no problem, girl. I have the gift of gab and an intellectual and spiritual nugget of wisdom dropping ass ones at that. Even though I'm gonna stutter and have my own isms, but baby, I just want to sit back and listen, because sometimes you just need to shut the hell up and listen sometimes. And not just listen, but also comprehend sometimes. There is a lack of understanding and comprehension in America. Baby. Let me look at y'all comments real quick. Rico Cassadine said he detransitioned. Maybe he'd be willing to. Oh, wow, I did not know that. Okay, I have to keep that in mind. Thank you, Queen Spicy. You might have to remind me, because I think one of my next video essays that I'm going to speak on is about the trans experience. And I would love to speak, because I already have a few people in mind. I already know I want to interview Queen Stevie, my sis Kiki, who I met on YouTube about a decade ago. I have another trans woman that I know in my life personally. I would like to interview them and talk to them. So I'm going to try to work on that within this year. I don't know when, but I'm going to do that. And it would be interesting to have a conversation with people who have detransitioned as well, so that we can find a common area. And I'm going to show y'all what my attempt of that is towards the end of this live. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Black Anarchist Podcast, and make sure y'all listen to the soundtrack. And I'm going to have to have a conversation. Like I said, pretty soon, Bap, we're gonna have to talk, pimping. Cause if you're ready to edit, I'm ready to teach. Cause no shade, girl, I'm ready to do some community work, girl, and get my shit at the same time, so I can continue to do what I do. But the way that you utilize AI in reference to like the music, I need to learn, how did you do that? How did you learn how to use that to create those songs? Cause I have idea for songs, like parody songs in a sense. But make sure y'all check out the soundtrack, because baby, when I tell you that the Black Anarchist Podcast is using their resources, I love intellectual people. I love people who are smart, girl. Those are the ones that's going to make sure that everybody live. Those are the ones that are going to survive. But check them out. Check out their books as well. Again, Blame It on the Dress. I love it. And the soundtrack for their latest book. Dope ass music. I love it. 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 I would say I love it when you eat it, but we're not talking about that right now. Yeah, send the monetary blessing to CTV's Cash App. Okay, just put BubzDaGawd in the 4-line Cash App. Okay, at Conscious TV. Thank you, Queen Spicy. I can't wait till the day where I can pay my mods. Because when I tell you I want to give back, I'm going to be on that level, girl. Like, here you go, y'all. Thank y'all for doing y'all job, girl. Check y'all Cash Apps for the month, girl. Y'all did. I'm going to pay y'all a month, girl. No shade. But it's going to be nice. I'm surrounded by dope ass niggas, bitch. I'm discovering my own stuff, so I'm gonna share. That's how you stay blessed. You have to give back in order to receive. No shade. And I might have to do some freaky shit for some of you freaky ass niggas that like watching my shit. I don't know. I got voiceover things that I can probably do. We can see about that. Are y'all willing to pay to hear BubzDaGawd toss some nasty freaky shit on the low, girl? Cause I ain't gonna do it publicly, girl.
I would go out into the world, and everyone's calling me Ollie. Everyone sees me as a guy. But then, at the end of the day, when I'm home, in my room, looking in the mirror, I'm like, what did I do? Like, I start getting these, like, really scary thoughts of, like, you're incomplete. You're not a guy. You never will be. But even though you're legally, your driver's license says you're a guy, you know you're not. You finally have expressed your true inner self or whatever, the thing that you wanted to do so badly ever since you were like 13, 14 years old. You did this thing to alleviate this gender dysphoria, that wasn't there before, but you made it into a problem, and now your body image issues are worse. That's not supposed to happen. What do we do now?
Now let's pause right there, because it brought up a very interesting point. And again, shout out to those who participated in the documentary. For me, this is information. I'm on the side of truth at the end of the day. But you've done everything that you saw other people do online. You were dealt with doctors and therapists who were not responsible, who were irresponsible as far as making sure this is the path that you want to go, and suggesting social transitioning first for years to see, just to see if this is what you want to do. You've met those who helped fast track it, so you didn't have the opportunity to grow along in your transness, your trans experience. And again, I'm just speaking on the outside. Again, I don't know this person personally, so I'm not speaking against what it is that they are doing. I'm just giving a different perspective, no shade, in a way that could be beneficial. And then what happens is that now that you have the things that society is able to now honor you in the way that you see yourself, you have now been able to feel that elation that a lot of other trans individuals who shared their journey experience. And now that you have those things and you're in your room, now there is a regret, or it could be incomplete. I don't know if that is a continuation of gender dysphoria, because hell, I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not clinically diagnosed, but I possibly feel like I struggle with a little bit of body dysmorphia, because growing up, I was a chunkier person. Now, and I'm short, I'm 5'2". So if you short and you chunky, I was over here looking like a swollen cupcake, baby. And even though I have done things to change my body, there are times that I look at my body and I be like, is the old Bubs there? Like, why does it kind of look the same? Or sometimes it'll be people that will see me after like 5-10 years or something. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, man, you still look the same. In my head, I'm thinking like, what you mean look the same? That's all in my head. That's because there was a lack of self-love. Now imagine if these individuals who were socially transitioning was around people who gave them the space to socially transition, which means that even if you're not with that trans shit, I don't give a fuck, cool, that's cool, whatever. I mean, that's great for them. I mean, hey, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I ain't trying to fuck, I ain't trying to slay or get slayed by you, so I don't care. Like, if they grew up in those environments, then they may get to a point to where they say, you know what? I'm glad that I had the opportunity to socially transition and to do it for a while so that I can get in the rhythm and the flow of this to find out if it's for me or not, so that the least harm is done, because now I can just go back to what I was or explore what it is, the expectation placed on me, which I may like more, I don't know. But if they had the opportunity to socially transition first, because these individuals are saying that their stuff is being expedited, as if though this is damn the postal service, girl. You pay for next day delivery, girl. Like, this is Amazon. You paying for next day or possibly same day delivery. It would have resolved all of this. And then secondly, again with the whole body dysmorphia thing, there are plenty of people who you and I would look at and be like, oh nigga, you set. You got the body, you got the arms, you got the biceps, you got the triceps, you got the traps, you got the motherfucking deltoids, you got the motherfucking abs, bitch, you got the motherfucking quads, bitch, you got the motherfucking calves, bitch. We thank the universe that you got the gluteus maximus, girl, because you know, thank you, Lord. But you have all those things, and there will be people who will say, I'm not built enough. I'm not defined enough. How many bodybuilders have we seen who take ridiculous amount of drugs, girl? They basically beat trans, girl, have a whole damn trans private part, girl, because they shit going up in, because they're taking all these damn steroids and shit like that. And they can bench press trucks and motherfucking stop semi trucks and stuff. Girl, pick a whole house up, but yet I'm not muscular enough. I'm not, this muscle not sticking out more. I need more. It's the same damn thing. We can say the same thing for biological women who get all these motherfucking BBLs to appease a man. See, all of these things are done to appease people outside of themselves, as opposed to satisfying who you are on the inside. Which is why I'm going to say it, and again, I honor their experiences until I have a conversation with them personally or learn more about their personal experience. But I'm going to say publicly that these people were possibly not trans to begin with because they were looking for an escape. And they probably got caught up in the mass hysteria of it all. As far as how there's confusion, and I don't know what this is, and all of this stuff going on, while the youth is watching and learning. And again, for those doctors, those practices, those therapists, we need to know who they are. What is their name? I'm not going to do all of y'all work for y'all, PragerU. Y'all going to have to get a mirror to stop dropping videos, dropping names and receipts. Because where's the video of him reacting to this? And if he has a video reacting to this, I stand corrected. But until I see it, allegedly speaking, girl, where is his depiction of this? Where's his reaction of this? He didn't put it on themirror.com. Because there ain't nothing on there but a YouTube link. And that's been up for 2+ years. So when you look at social media and you see that people are always comparing their bodies to everybody else, how everybody trying to get their ass fat, how everybody trying to get their waist small, how everybody trying to have bigger shoulders and look a certain way and have all the aesthetics, but still feel empty inside, it's because you wasn't doing it for you. You were doing it for the attention of others. And as long as you do things for the attentions of others solely, as opposed to doing shit for yourself and whatever the hell the overflow catches and the motherfuckers get that, they get that, you're going to run into problems like this. We'll get into that later. Let's continue.
I just woke up one day, looked at myself in the mirror, and asked myself, what the heck am I doing? As I realized, no matter if I would have gotten every surgery, continue with hormones, I realized I would have never been a woman. At best, I would have been a caricature of what I believed a woman was. Nobody would help me because they had more concerns of me reversing everything. I just socially detransitioned, got the implants removed. So I had technically developed gynecomastia. My chest is not like it used to be, and it never will. I have scarring, numbness, and unfortunately, my nipples are completely different, to put it lightly. It has been taking a major toll on me since I realized what I've done.
I was almost 5 years on testosterone. So if I had gone further, I wouldn't have been able to go back. When I found out I was pregnant, I was just over the moon. I mean, I was scared I was gonna have a doctor tell me that, like, sorry, you're infertile, and it would have been my fault. There are so many young people who are going through very similar things that I did and are still being told that transition will save them, and it's just not true. My story is tragic in some ways, but it's very redemptive in many ways. That cannot be said for many detransitioners. And that's just heartbreaking. Like, I can't imagine living with that. Like, I can't imagine what it would be like to regret a bottom surgery, or, you know, to be infertile, because when you were a little child, like 12, your, you know, parents were manipulated into putting you, like, blocking your puberty.
Being so young, I was so impressionable. I was told so many times, it's possible that you're trans, it's possible that you're trans, that eventually I started to believe it.
Unfortunately, transition made things worse for me.
It has just kind of wrecked my perception of myself, and I feel like I missed out on like 3 years of my life. I missed out on 3 years of living my teenage girlhood.
I didn't realize that there were women like me who were different.
So, here's the deal. I'm detransitioning. It's true, it's not a joke.
I understand now that I can
be a cis woman again. I haven't gone too far. I haven't passed the point of no return. I can live as a woman again.
I was something because people were reacting to me, but it was a me that wasn't really me, so I was protected. I was protecting myself with the trans label.
These pediatric clinics that perform these surgeries, they will do nothing to help these teens if they decide to detransition. There's nothing you can do. You know, once you've taken all those hormones, Billy, your body is changed beyond repair.
You don't have to remove your body parts to make you complete. When I transitioned, my suicidal ideation did not go away.
Transition is not the only answer, and there are many detransitioners like me out there.
My name is Camille Kiefel.
My name is Emily. My name is Laura Becker.
My name is Abel Garcia, and I am a detransitioner.
My name is Daisy, and I am a woman.
All right, y'all. That was detransition. There are multiple detransition documentaries out there that I'm going to, throughout this year, take the time to watch for myself. As I stated earlier and throughout, and as I will state now, to the individuals who have detransitioned, I have grace towards them. Because no shade, medically and surgically, they were manipulated. I can understand the fact of the individual on the screen saying like, you know, how could I have lived if I would have done my bottom surgery and regretted it? What you can do, and this is the part that is the toughest, but it's the purpose of life, which is you continue to live. For the individual whose chest is not what is considered a quote-unquote normal chest, the things that I will offer as far as my possible solution to the gray area is that there can be specialists who can help you to get your chest looking the way that you want it to. And yes, as it mentioned, there is a redemption quality. Oh, what's going on? New member? Hey, we got a new member in the building. What's going on? This is new. We got a shout out to you. Thank you for being here. And again, these people's experiences, these people's lived experiences, what happened to them is valid. And I honor that. And again, yes, there is always redemption. And I want them to have redemption stories. I want them to find happiness in life. I want them to move forward in life the way that feels good for them. Because like Amir says, everybody has the right to change, right? That you can transmute that regret into something that you can use as a stepping stone to get to where you want to get to. I have nothing against that. Again, my problem and my issue is for PragerU, the Republicans and conservatives, the supremacists who believe, since we're using that terminology they use, that they're doing the right thing. Because what happens is that now these individual stories are being blanketed across all trans experiences. They're only using detransitioners as a talking point, unfortunately. What's going on, Faith? Now, what I do want to provide to you all, okay, is again, my possible solutions for the gray area, if you will. So, let me move this out the way. Boom. Make it bigger. So I asked, is gender affirming, what is gender affirming care? How does it help? What is the benefits of it? Because again, just because these individuals were fast tracked to that, which again, that is on the blame of the doctors, of the therapists, of the practices that allowed all this to happen without doing their due deals to evaluate like they're supposed to. There are other people who have received gender-affirming care, and trust me when I say people. Keep that in mind, okay? Because it's not just who you think it is. Because again, the documentary is proving how gender-affirming care is dangerous, but they don't know what gender-affirming care really is. They just know a certain perspective. So it says here on the screen, yes, gender-affirming care is a holistic approach that encompasses much more than just physical or medical treatments. While it can include physical changes like hormone therapy or surgery, it is fundamentally a range of services designed to align a person's life with their gender identity. Gender-affirming care is typically categorized into 4 main areas. First, social affirmation. The one thing that Amir was talking about. Well, what about the social transitioning? So let's talk about that. Social transition often involves non-medical, fully reversible steps to live and present as one true gender. Or I'll just add in there for those who are trying to figure it out. Okay? Personal identity, using a new name and pronouns. Y'all call niggas mook mook, ray ray, juke juke, and all of them all the damn time, but y'all can't offer that same awareness to trans girl. That means for some of these artists, girl, we're not calling you your artist name. We calling you the name. We calling your government name. That means you can't call me Bubs. You got to call me my government name. So we calling everybody by their real ish. Okay? Presentation, changing hairstyles, clothing, or using makeup. Again, the wig can come off, the clothing can come off, the makeup can come off. Social integration, okay, disclosing one's gender identity to family, friends, and peers, okay? So again, that's a step in that doesn't involve medical or doesn't involve surgical. These are the social aspects of it. And again, my question to the Republican Party, to the Conservative Party, to Amir Odom, and to all of them over there, if you had a child, are you okay with your child socially transitioning? Just to see if that is the case. Secondly, psychological and mental health support, because again, it is about the mind as well. The affirmation is also in the mind. Talk so much about mental health, right? Gender affirming care is not just physical. It is mental and social at the same time. Hello. Mental health care is an essential component, often providing a foundation for other types of care. For example, identity exploration, therapy to help individuals understand their feelings and explore their sense of self, emotional support, helping patients navigate the challenges of transitioning, such as social pressure or stigma, okay, addressing dysphoria, working to alleviate the distress, gender dysphoria, to alleviate it, okay, caused by the mismatch between one's gender identity and sex assigned at birth. Then we have legal affirmation. Okay? Many individuals choose to align their official status with their identity and documentation, legally changing names and updating gender markers on birth certificates, driver's licenses, and other government documents that, especially in certain states, are trying to reverse that shit. No shade. And lastly, medical and physical care. The one place where, again, y'all say that once your ass is an adult, you can do whatever you like. Yeah. Titties at the top, yick at the bottom. Doesn't really matter because I'm an adult, bitch. I can do whatever I like. It doesn't matter because you're an adult. Physical interventions are only one part of the spectrum and are, again, one part of the spectrum and are tailored to the individual's specific goals. Not everyone who is transgender seeks medical care. So again, when you have trans adults who just want to socially transition, but they don't assimilate, or as it was mentioned in the documentary, pass well, now all of a sudden it's a man in the bathroom. So as we can see again here, not everyone who is trans seeks medical care. You have non-surgical medical care, okay? Includes puberty blockers to pause puberty in youth and hormone replacement therapy, HRT. Okay, you also have surgical care, procedures such as chest or genital reconstruction, which are typically reserved. Now, we do see that there are some people out there that's giving it to youth and fast tracking that shit as opposed to allowing it to be social, just to make sure, again, finding that gray area, the common gray area, girl. But it's typically reserved for adults. And let me put this out the way so I can see the bottom of the screen. And other services, voice or speech therapy to match vocal characteristics with identity, and hair removal services. So I started to continue with my question. I asked and I said, Since gender affirming care is bad, as PragerU is posing it, do cisgender people, biological, for those of you who like that term, again, we're speaking in the way that y'all speak too, do they receive gender affirming care? And I found out that, girl, yes. Cisgendered people, again, those whose gender identity matches the sex they were assigned at birth, receive gender affirming care, and they actually make up the largest group of people who use these services. Okay, gender affirming care is simply any medical, surgical, or social support that helps a person's body and life align with their gender identity. For cisgendered people, this care is often so common that it isn't labeled as gender affirming in everyday conversation. Common examples of gender affirming care for cisgendered people include medical and hormonal care. Okay? Remember hormone replacement therapy, HRT, that the trans people be using? Many cisgendered women use estrogen to manage symptoms of menopause, okay, or PCOS, girl, because y'all know I'm going to mess that word up, which can cause masculine traits like facial hair. For the niggas, testosterone therapy. Cisgendered men often seek treatment for low T, to restore energy levels and physical traits they associate with their masculinity. And then you have puberty blockers. Wait a minute, I thought it was just for the trans people. Hold on. These are the gold standard for treating, I'm gonna mess that word up, precocious puberty in cisgendered children who begin puberty at an unnaturally young age. Then there is surgical care, okay? Gynecomastia surgery, okay? This is a procedure for cisgendered men to remove excess breast tissue, helping them to achieve a flatter, more masculine chest. I think some of the niggas over in certain red pill places could benefit from that gender affirming care. Breast reconstruction. After a mastectomy due to cancer, many cisgendered women choose reconstructive surgery to restore their feminine appearance. Hair restoration, okay? Hair plugs or implants, okay? For cisgendered men experiencing male pattern baldness, a lot of y'all niggas don't know, are a form of care used to affirm a what? More youthful, masculine appearance. Then we have body contouring. Y'all love to be able to stop training your waists. Procedures like jaw recontouring, jaw recontouring, or skin removal after massive weight loss helps individuals reach a physical shape that feels authentic to their gendered self. And then you have aesthetics and social care, okay? Laser hair removal, commonly used by cisgender women to remove unwanted facial or body hair that conflicts with their sense of femininity, and cosmetic enhancements, okay? Procedures like Botox or fillers are often used to soften or sharpen facial features to meet traditional gendered beauty standards. Okay? So, I also asked the question, well, for the individuals who have detransitioned, I'm curious to know, what does gender affirming care look like for them? Because again, I'm trying to be as objective as possible, gray areas as possible. Proper gender affirming care for individuals who have detransitioned is an emerging but essential. Understand that. For those of you who have detransitioned, I am for and I am pro gender affirming care, because that also means care for you as well, because your experience is an essential part of a broader gender affirming healthcare spectrum. Okay? It is defined as a holistic, empathetic approach that centers on a person's current gender embodiment goals, whether those involve returning to the sex assigned at birth or moving toward a non-binary identity. Now, because the reasons for detransitioning are complex and vary greatly, ranging from shifts in identity to external pressures like a lack of family support, care must be highly individualized. Okay? First, we have the psychological and emotional support. Because again, as we saw in the documentary, let me move myself so we can see the full screen here. There's a lot of mental and emotional support that needs to happen after, quote unquote, having a regret of something that is almost irreversible. Because for those people that were in the documentary, they said they did not reach the point of no return in a sense. But psychological and emotional support. A primary pillar of care for detransitioners is providing a non-judgmental space for exploration. So the same thing that is being offered to the trans community as far as exploring, it needs to also happen for those who have detransitioned as well, if we're going to be objective. Now, gender exploration. Clinicians should offer therapy focused on understanding current needs without gatekeeping or clinical judgment. Addressing regret and trauma. That's what they talked about in the documentary. Many detransitioners require support for feelings of grief, regret, or isolation. Okay? This includes trauma-enforced, excuse me, I just want to make sure my sound was good. This includes trauma-informed care for those who may feel harmed by their initial transition and peer support groups. Connection with others who have had similar experiences through organizations like Beyond Trans can be vital for reducing shame and social isolation. Then we have, hold on y'all, because there we go. Is it girl? Wait a minute. There we go. Medical and surgical management. For those who have medically transitioned, detransition care often involves reversing or managing previous physical changes. We have hormone transition. Managing the safe secession of cross-sex hormones and, if necessary, initiating hormone replacement therapy, HRT, to align with their current identity. Example, estrogen for detransitioned women or testosterone for detransitioned men. Corrective or reconstructive surgery. This can include breast reconstruction for those who've had mastectomies or procedures to address changes from genital surgeries. And then you have aesthetic services. Access to hair removal for those who grew facial hair on testosterone, and hair restoration for those who experience alopecia is often a key part of physical affirmation. Then we have the social and legal affirmation, right? Similar to the initial transition process, detransition often includes social and legal steps. Social support, which means validating and adopting a new or original name and pronouns. And legal documentation, assisting with reverting or updating name and gender markers on legal documents. And here's the current challenges in care in reference to those who have detransitioned. While organizations like WPATH, World Professional Association for Transgendered Health, are beginning to include, keyword, are beginning, because we're listening to the stories and the experiences, are beginning to include detransition care in their standards. Many patients still report a lack of defined clinical pathways and feel abandoned by the medical community. Proper care requires providers to be as affirming of a person's decision to detransition as they would be of an initial transition. So again, I feel like the gray area here that so many people don't want to discuss is, at the end of the day, gender affirming care matters. Because gender affirming care is not something exclusively for trans people. Gender affirming care is for all people. Hello. See how me, an individual, was able to do more work, more breakdown, and bring it all together to make sense. How I was able to do that. But meanwhile, Amir, who is backed by PragerU, who is almost at 1 million subscribers, who has the resources and the connections to be able to create powerful videos, transformative videos, to take clips and excerpts and stuff like that, to put into the video to prove to the queer community, this is what I'm talking about. It took another cisgendered, same gender loving man who is a part of the queer community to do Amir's job. How the fuck do you do that? So, Amir, my ninja, if you claim to be objective, because like I said, and I stated, I believe that the little Amir is crying out on the inside. If you really care about the little Amir, who also shares the same energetic experience as the youth growing up today, you will be completely 360 in your commentary going forward. I want to see a video essay or a documentary or a damn video upload of finding out who the hell these doctors and therapists were, so that queer people like myself who can see others causing harm can hold them accountable. Because I will. Through my YouTube channel, putting out the information if that is the case. I also want to see a video or a live where you ask your supporters, and it probably better do this live as opposed to a video essay, but do this live and talk to your supporters and say, hey, with the whole trans thing, I'm cool with the social transitioning. Are you? That's the great benefit, right? And I want to see what your supporters are going to say in reference to whether they agree with that or not. I wonder what PragerU, like, you can't reach out to PragerU. You can't be like, hey, yo, PragerU, I've done things for y'all. Can y'all do something for me? Like, let's continue to talk about the trans thing, because I keep bringing up social transitioning. So if we're going to sit out here and say that gender affirming care as far as medical and surgical is dangerous, then let's also offer a solution to that problem. But we know what PragerU and them are going to do. They're not going to do it. Because again, they want all trans shit done, because these laws that are being put in place, that are being enacted, are not affecting children. They're affecting trans adults. The ones who are grown. The ones who do pay motherfucking taxes. The one that has a right to be able to choose what the hell they want to do, because they spent the majority of their life being told, once you become an adult, once you get your own place, once you move out, once you do this, and once you do this, okay then, knuckle, now I've done it. Now what? Now it's a problem still. Y'all gonna have to do better than that. And like I stated, Amir, until you do, it's going to be publicly, is in reference to your social perspective, public persona, huck you. Huck PragerU. Huck Summit Ministries. Huck Turning Point USA. Fuck the Republicans. Huck the National Conservative National. Fuck y'all. Y'all gonna have to do better than that. And if you really care, then I'm gonna need for you to put money on the detransitioners' gender affirming care. Don't just use it as a talking point. Actually walk out what the hell you claim that you connected to, which is God. So anyway, just wanted to come through with that. Y'all make sure that y'all stay on the lookout later on tonight. We're possibly going to be over at Conscious TV's platform tonight, which will be dope. No shade. Make sure y'all come through for the conversation. Especially if you're ready to like move past these surface level bullshit ass, distractive ass conversation that people like Amir love to put out for money, girl. But if you really want to have some real soul stirring conversations, transformative conversations, of course, make sure y'all go ahead and check out and subscribe to Conscious TV. Okay. Please make sure y'all hit that like button, because it helps the channel to grow in the algorithms. We are on the road to 1,200 subscribers, girl, and every day a subscribers join. So shout out to y'all. Y'all make this possible. If you like the vibe over here and you want to contribute to the subscription growth, you can definitely hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all of my content, both live and edited. If there's anything that I said in my commentary that you agree with, disagree with, you want to read me, roast me, whatever the case may be, I give you full free permission to use any of my content. Okay? The only thing that is required and very desired is that you just tag me in it, BubzDaGawd, so that I know that it's real. And if you feel compelled, you can definitely hit that Cash App up, $Conscious TV, okay? CONSCIOUZ TV, okay? DeShawn, I'm still gonna ask. But make sure y'all go ahead and do that, okay? Shout out to Faith is the Substance. Make sure y'all subscribe to her as well. Dope ass content creator. I'm still working on that interview with you and CTV, boo. I got you. I ain't gonna hold you. Trust me. We gonna work it out. When the time comes, we gonna work it out. Shout out to Queen Spicy. Shout out to Allie, who is a new member. Oh my God. Shout out to King Deshaun in the building. Shout out to DJ The Truth TV in the building. Shout out to the Black Anarchist Podcast in the building. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the Black Anarchist Podcast. Check out their books, their projects, as well as the latest soundtrack for their project. No Shade is really good. Shout out to T for T in the building. Shout out to Queen Stevie in the building. I think that was everybody. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to those who came in, peeked in. Shout out to the replay gang, okay? And again, Amir, no shade pimping. I'm down for a public or private conversation. I would prefer private because I'm pretty sure you probably gonna feel some type of way about my commentary, and I'd rather we just deal with honesty with nobody else looking, girl, so we can get to the truth. But I'm down to have a conversation, or if there's anybody in your camp who can champion for you, I would love to have a conversation with them as well. I mean, if you got people over there that know things that I don't know, and I'm the one that's ignorant, and you claiming to be the person who is, you know, the sensible one, then I'm gonna need you to help make this make sense for me. Okay? No shade. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And we're gonna be back, not over here tonight, but we're gonna be somewhere else tonight. So until then, and I deleted the day. Did I even upload the damn video outro? Hold on. There we go. Anyway, y'all end up enjoying the rest of y'all evening, and I'll be talking to y'all. Peace.
I can be anything I choose in this round. We are a sound vibration too deep to tell.